Guys, look here. It's American cruiser. Update 7.6 is almost ready, so it's time to shoot our Dev Diaries video and to tell you how we worked so far to make this update. What we have? It's the second part of American cruiser line, and we prepare for you a lot of content. First, light cruisers, they are ready. Then we have new PvE scenario, brand new, because we never have played at night before. And arsenal and new resources, farm coal, farm steel, and get the ships that you needed. Guys, it seems that someone is telling his story right now.
I'll reveal a little secret about how, in general, we select ships for the game. To tell the truth, it's a team effort, with participation from our historians and competent specialists who have a good command of naval science. Then, ships come to us, the game designers, and we set them up for the game. I can recall clearly how we worked on the US light cruisers. They're good to work on because the majority of them are real steel ships that have actually been built, i.e. we could find references to work with. The engineering solutions which were applied by American naval engineers are aesthetically very beautiful. They have their own steel charm.
Our basis for the US light cruisers is that we initially have 4 new ships and an old one, Cleveland, that move from Tier 6 to Tier 8. They're the foundation of a team, so to say, support for your allies. Why? Because these ships have quite a substantial consumable set. Surveillance radar, hydroacoustic search and defensive fire. All of them are in different slots. When you reach Tier 9 and Tier 10, you'll need long fingers to play on them, because these ships have 5 consumable slots. We test the ships ourselves. We play dozens of battles to understand how these ships behave and how players will feel about them. So, the descriptions that you can read in our patch notes and articles have been tested and approved by us.
We have a great tradition in our game to celebrate all big and important national holidays. We celebrated Chinese New Year together. We celebrated the end of World War II together. And we'll celebrate the 4th of July, Independence Day in the United States, the same way together. Apart from cool bonuses like triple experience for the first victory and cheaper conversion of base experience into the free experience, you'll be able to, for example, win a skin for Baltimore.
The Baltimore skin is next in the line that started with Cleveland. We performed several quick renders of the ship in various aspects so we could understand the overall picture, the overall image of the ship. Then we started drawing. First, we outlined primary lines along the sides and used the American flag as a background for primary sections. Probably the most beautiful part of the ship is its side decoration. It's divided into multiple lines and has a stepped structure. We primarily used references from Art Deco of the early 20th century for the side decoration.
By the start of July, we'll have designed a reworked nighttime New York port for you. I participated in the development of this port and made key decisions on its overhaul. We started with reworking the buildings in New York. We made windows glow and made most of them unique so they all look different and interesting. We've designed the city in depth and made several things so that the buildings now look three-dimensional. They're not just a flat background now. We were given a list of unique miscellaneous objects that should be seen in the New York port. like the Boeing 314, for example, which flies above you. We'll also attach a sound object to it, a sound emitter, so both the sound and the visuals of the Boeing will be at the same place. Buffalo, Dallas, and Des Moines are also in the port. They're in-game warships, but we've reduced their level of detail to save resources in the port and add more unique in-game objects there.
I was developing the Arsenal for its release. It's a new in-game tool where players can exchange newly acquired coal and steel for content that became unavailable for them long ago. For example, reward ships, combat signal flags, or collection elements. We implemented a coupon system to partially equalize the prices for very active players and less active ones. A coupon is a one-time discount for any purchase in the Arsenal. We had quite a long discussion about what we should call these resources because, from the game designer point of view, it doesn't really matter what you call it, since this is just a resource. We tried to choose a solution from similar and real options which were used in the Navy, because our historians would be very upset if we used simple seashells. I hope that we've implemented a nice tool and players will find something useful and interesting for them in the Arsenal.
Moreover, we're going to introduce discounts on the researchable American cruisers in Update 0.7.6 just before the 4th of July. You'll be able to purchase them cheaper using credits.
We're designing a new operation for patch 0.7.6, where we'll introduce nighttime battles and star rounds.
The initial mock-up of a flare was just a single flare that could fly almost like in real life. But as soon as we checked this in the game, we understood that a single flare isn't enough. That's why we combined 5 flares in a bunch. When we implemented a 5-flare bunch, we understood that the flares fly and glow okay, but water and ships didn't reflect the light. That's when we added a special technology called dynamic lighting. It wasn't easy, but we did a great job.
We've been working on this operation for around 3 months. Several people were involved in the task. The job included visual and weather effects and new mechanics. You'll learn about the details of the operation in our next video.
Have fun and interesting battles, and don't hesitate to leave your feedback. It's very important to us. We read it more often than you think.